He's a pure savage.
It's clear one figure couldn't care less about those concerns.
That's also why he was so good at fighting, man. In the middle of the Jose Aldo fight, I remember looking into his eyes and watching how calm, like genuinely calm he was. I'm like, this guy just, and Dana said it best, he's like, he eats pressure. He just eats it.
For him, the disorder is the appeal. He thrives on it, actively seeking that chaotic energy. There are those who speak of embracing such pandemonium, yet few genuinely mean it.
It is interesting that in the time where that low calf kick is coming to prominence, and, you know, this is also the time when Conor started moving away from the sport, took time off, fought boxing, you know, then came back and had the fight with Khabib, and then came back and had the fight with Cowboy. The calf kick was never in play in any of his fights. But if you look at him stylistically, and this is one of the things, I love DC's detail that he does on ESPN. It's amazing. But when he broke down Conor's heavy weight on the right leg, he leans in like this all the time. It's such a big weapon.
And sometimes he, like you said, that wide stance as well. Mm-hmm. It's just hard to check the kick from that wide stance. You know,
well, it's a crazy stance for everything other than calf kicks. It's a great stance.
Yeah.
I mean, he's so good at moving in and covering distance with that stance.
As of right here, right now, Gaethje McGregor is still on the table, and I think that should be pulled. I do not believe that Conor should walk into a title fight, but moreover, I will tell you, and Conor will too, he's not going to 155. Now, the promotion does not yet have that through their head. They are still pushing for Conor and 155. This is all extremely accurate information. So, I think there's a lot of options for McGregor. I really think that if it's not him versus Chandler, it should be. We really should look at that. We fans were promised a certain fight. We fans have been pretty damn patient.
As the highly anticipated White House event looms closer, a familiar name resonates louder than ever across the entire combat sports landscape: Conor McGregor. Opponents are clamoring for a shot, rivals are positioning themselves, and even seasoned analysts find themselves split on the true nature of this monumental occasion. Yet, one truth remains undeniable. If the spotlight shines, McGregor will undeniably be at its epicenter. Beyond that certainty, all that exists is a volatile mix of potential, conjecture, and a brewing storm of conflict.
It depends you fight with who. If you're gonna fight with Cowboy Cerrone, you're gonna look good. You're gonna be like lion. But if you're gonna fight like guys who on the top, who really best in the world, like Dustin Poirier, like this fight gonna show your level. You know, okay, fight with Cowboy or like these fights, be lion and that's it, make money. This is smart. But if you want to become champion, if you want to fight like Beneil, Islam, Charles, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, these guys lions, you know. These guys gonna show your level.
Even as the full picture remains unclear, one individual consistently draws others into his gravitational pull. Mauricio Ruffi, undeterred by the immense presence of Conor McGregor surrounding the proposed White House card, openly embraced the turbulence. When questioned about his next move, Ruffi directly addressed the speculation swirling around McGregor. Whispers suggested Conor sought an aggressive striker, someone who ignites fireworks rather than exercises restraint. Ruffi, rather than making demands, put himself forward as precisely that, emphasizing his readiness. He communicated his unequivocal preparedness to step into the limelight, leaving the ultimate choice to the UFC. Should McGregor indeed be seeking an electrifying contest?
What's next, Mauricio?
O que é o próximo? O que é o que vem agora para você?
Eu pedi Perry Pimblett na Casa Branca, talvez Conor McGregor tá querendo lutar também. Eu vi na internet rumores que ele acha melhor lutar contra mim, que sou um bom striker e que vai dar show pra galera, do que contra o Michael Chandler, que vem só de derrotas. E eu tô aqui, eu sou trabalhador do UFC, o que o UFC colocar, eu tô pronto.
Yeah, I work for UFC, but of course I want to fight on White House, maybe with Perry Pimblett or maybe Conor. I saw something about Conor saying that it's good to fight with me than Michael Chandler. So yeah, but I'm a UFC, so whatever.
It's not just the up-and-coming challengers displaying this level of assurance. When the name Conor McGregor surfaces, even reigning champions begin calculating the immense stakes. Ilia Topuria's stance was unequivocal, rejecting a fight proposal from McGregor simply makes no sense. The sheer magnitude of the event, not the challenge itself, is the driving force. A clash with Conor signifies a place in history, an unmatched global spotlight, and career-altering financial figures. Tapuri affirmed his readiness to answer that call should it arrive. That's the undeniable reality.
About Conor is like still,
Yeah.
even though he might not be the best fighter in the world right now, he's the golden goose.
Of course he is.
Yeah.
It's genuinely astonishing the kind of lasting impact he holds. Joe Rogan articulates McGregor's persistent draw with absolute clarity. Even with his current position as a competitor, Conor McGregor's magnetic appeal hasn't faded in the slightest. His market value remains untouched despite the fact that he's no longer considered the singular dominant force in the sport's skill hierarchy. McGregor consistently captures more public interest than any other athlete in mixed martial arts, consistently delivering audiences numbering in the millions. Such an extraordinary star power is a rarity in an era where personalities quickly rise and fall. And this precisely explains his continued prominence in conversations surrounding the White House event.
Go to see him, it just...
That would be a great one. But what excites me more is the fight with Patty.
Really?
Yeah, that fight excites me even more. And if they could put that fight in Spain...
Rogan went further, highlighting how McGregor's impact extends far beyond his record of victories and defeats. Sharing the sentiment with Chael Sonnen, he characterized Conor as among the select few combatants who fundamentally transformed the entire industry. His strategy wasn't merely about physical combat. It was a potent blend of controversy, distinct character, and delivering audacious statements with such force that nobody could avert their gaze. This generated immense public fascination, which then translated into significant bargaining power, ultimately leading to substantial wealth. Regardless of whether one admires or despises this method, Rogan's core argument was straightforward. For certain athletes, this isn't mere verbal sparring but a meticulously crafted strategy, one McGregor brought to absolute perfection.
I feel like there's a couple guys who kind of changed the game. One of them was Chael Sonnen, and another one is Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
And part of the way they changed the game was talking mad shit and getting a lot of people to pay attention to them.
Yeah.
And
Which, cool, Like, it got them a lot of attention. It got them a lot of money. But, like, and if that's what makes them happy, cool.
While some perceive it as a shrewd business maneuver, not everyone is convinced by the notion of a triumphant return. Khabib Nurmagomedov offered an unsparing critique of Conor McGregor's impending comeback. He contended that the physical toll McGregor has endured, particularly concerning his legs, represents an irreparable form of damage. Add to that several years where his competitive drive has seemingly waned, and Khabib's calculation becomes starkly clear. An athlete's peak performance is a singular event. Once that moment passes, no subsequent comeback can ever truly recapture it. After reaching the summit, the decline is a foregone conclusion.
It's what history shows us. When you take like this damage, you're never gonna be same. Never, ever. Okay, if we talk about Conor, okay, last couple of years, he's not hungry. And now what happened with his legs, never, ever. Never people come back, and never gonna be people on the same prime twice. Prime come only one time. You're gonna be on prime.
Khabib directly connected these sentiments to the White House card, presenting it as far more than mere entertainment. While squaring off against an opponent such as Cowboy Cerrone might allow McGregor to appear spectacular and drive ticket sales, the fundamental inquiry remains, can he truly still compete with the sport's absolute top tier? Fighters such as Dustin Poirier, Islam Makhachev, Charles Oliveira, or Justin Gaethje immediately come to mind. For Khabib, the White House platform isn't solely about exposure or financial gain. Instead, it serves as a crucial examination of whether McGregor's peak has genuinely passed, or if he retains the ability to operate at the zenith of the sport. As he sees it, the chosen opponent will ultimately expose whether Conor remains a legitimate threat or merely a captivating story.
You're gonna go down. It depends you fight with who. If you're gonna fight with Cowboy Cerrone, you're gonna look good. You're gonna be like lion. But if you're gonna fight like guys who on the top, who really best in the world, like Dustin Poirier, like this fight gonna show your level. Okay, fight with Cowboy or like these fights, be lion and that's it, make money. This is smart. But if you wanna become champion, if you wanna fight like Beneil, Islam, Charles, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, these guys lions, These guys gonna show your level.
Yet, while Khabib cast doubt on McGregor's enduring drive for elite competition, Conor himself adamantly asserts the opposite, claiming his hunger is not only present, but amplified. In anticipation of the White House card, he has characterized his comeback as transcending a mere bout. He describes it as a deeply personal quest, invigorated by renewed conviction and introspection. The fierce ambition that once propelled him, he proclaims, hasn't just returned, it burns with greater intensity. Having dedicated time to self-assessment and strategic adjustment, McGregor states he is poised to return with enhanced precision, unwavering concentration, and an eagerness to demonstrate his rightful place among the sport's grandest arena. For him, the White House card is not merely an occasion, it represents the ultimate proving ground for this reforged, relentless iteration of himself.
God that dictates my journey and all of our journeys, and I live my life by God's word. And since around that time that you mentioned at the last event, I've engaged on a spiritual journey. And I'm saved, I am healed. And, you know, on the back of that, the world is in for a treat. The world is in for a treat. My competitive spark that was once in my heart is now a roaring blaze. So I'm very excited. You know, I envy these men up here on this dais. They're right about to make weight, and they're to go in and enjoy and entertain and do what they were called to do, as am I called to do it. And, you know, I'm eager to get back. And right now I had to dial myself in and go inward. And that I done. And I'm very, very excited to come back my own self.
Expanding on McGregor's vow of a more incisive, concentrated comeback, Chael Sonnen offered additional insights into potential opponents for the White House event. He painted a prospective clash with Justin Gaethje as virtually a blessing, a shrewd combination that aligns perfectly with both the theatrical demands and the individual career trajectories of the fighters. However, Sonnen wisely cautioned that once the Octagon door secures shut, all certainties vanish. Even if McGregor has committed to the fight, the actual result will carve its own unique narrative, and the true challenge will be demonstrating whether this revitalized, unyielding version of him can actually deliver on all the fervent anticipation.
Right? Okay, a special treat in the White House and a special treat in Conor McGregor, which is almost a gift, right? Bread Panty Night is real. That's a gift for somebody. We'll gift this to Justin Gaethje on his way out the door, and he won't mind fighting in a different weight class because he's leaving anyway. He's not coming up the ranks. This is all part of the thought process as to why it's going to be Conor versus Justin Gaethje, but that is also believed that Justin Gaethje was going to lose. Now, you can't say that. When you go in and you start talking about these deals, there's never say, hey, you're going to lose to Patty. So when you lose to Patty, we're going to bump you up a weight class that won't matter as you're on your way out anyway. Like, you can't say those things. So when he goes in and gets the win, it's very hard to unwind that and go, okay, it's no longer McGregor and Gaethje. They're both going to go. Why? Right? Imagine McGregor that already said yes to Gaethje. He's saying the same thing.
Sonnen then meticulously dissected the complexities of thrusting McGregor directly into a championship bout. A move to the 55-pound division, he elaborated, sparks debates about the genuine significance of a title and could lead to considerable organizational disarray. As a pragmatic alternative, he proposed a showdown against the loser of the Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett contest, a pairing still capable of igniting enormous curiosity. It represents a monumental fight with undeniable allure. But Sonnen underscored that the White House card extends beyond mere hype generation. It demands a fight that holds logical weight both within the Octagon and for the overarching narrative. Subsequently, Michael Bisping offered his insights on the prospective White House pairings, emphasizing the immense star power and compelling storylines inherent in them. He singled out Jorge Masvidal as an extraordinary adversary for Conor McGregor, drawing attention to Masvidal's background with Trump rallies and his connection to the political arena. Bisping sharply contrasted this with Michael Chandler, whose recent setbacks in natural weight class render him a considerably less captivating choice. In the interim, Masvidal's formidable track record, ranging from the swiftest knockout in UFC annals to becoming the inaugural BMF champion, positions him as an athlete capable of delivering both authentic legitimacy and sheer spectacle against McGregor on such an unparalleled platform as the White House.
Because we've seen on the internet you versus McGregor.
All right. Shit, give them what they want, not what they expect. I could say some big news, and I can't deny or confirm what you just said.
Even Chael Sonnen was talking about it. And as I said, when you look at Jorge Masvidal and the career that he's had, and then you remember Jorge Masvidal has been a massive supporter of Donald Trump, I think he's spoken publicly at rallies for Donald Trump as well. So he's certainly in the good graces of the Trump family, right? And they're the kind of people that they're going to want at the White House. Conor McGregor versus Jorge Masvidal. That'll be a sensational matchup. Michael Chandler, of course, losing to Paddy Pimblett the way that he did. And then, of course, when you look at the majority of fights that he's lost, okay, it doesn't really put him in too good of a standing, okay? And, of course, he's 155. Yeah, he'd come up to 170 to fight McGregor, but he's not a natural 170. And Jorge Masvidal has fought at 155, but also finished his career at 170. He did fight for the belt. He did have the fastest knockout in history. He absolutely destroyed Nate Diaz when he became the first BMF. I mean, if you go back to 2019, that was the coming out.
Furthermore, John Anik contributed an alternative viewpoint regarding the White House card. While conceding the excitement surrounding Conor McGregor's return, he expressed skepticism about several of the speculated pairings. He put forth that a fight against Michael Chandler, while undeniably generating nationalistic fervor and significant media attention, lacks substantial relevance within the lightweight division and could potentially even occur at a non-standard weight. For Anik, the genuine fascination lies in prospective encounters with competitors such as Nate Diaz or Mauricio Ruffi, matchups that would rigorously assess McGregor's abilities and provide genuine high-stakes drama within the confines of the Octagon.
Modern young generation of fighters are going to know you for the way you commentate, the way you call plays, the way you are so analytical about fighters. You're amazing at what you do at bringing the whole story to life, and I think it's like one piece of the puzzle that has to be there. Like, we need John Anik, and we've seen you do some other things with the Canelo fight, which was amazing, by the way, which I want to talk about. How much of this chemistry is built off the camera versus on the camera? I'll start with you.
Building upon Anik's insistence on significant matchups, Michael Chandler publicly issued a direct challenge. He desires Conor McGregor, specifically on the monumental White House platform. Chandler cited McGregor's own social media activity, media appearances, and even highlight reels as evidence that this mutual interest exists. While conceding that the world of MMA is inherently unpredictable and guarantees are non-existent, he unequivocally stated that both athletes share the same objective and negotiations are moving forward. In the interim, Chandler remains intensely committed to his training, poised to transform that highly anticipated contest into a reality the moment the UFC signals its approval.
It's no secret. Obviously, I want to fight Conor, and I think it's no secret by the things that he's posting, the interviews that he's doing, the number of times he said my name, posted a video of me and him and our highlights and all that kind of stuff a week or so ago. He wants to fight me. I want to fight him. He wants to fight at the White House. I want nothing more than to be wearing the red, white, and blue stars and bars, walking onto the White House lawn and fighting at the White House. You know how hard it is to put percentages on anything in mixed martial arts. It's such a crazy sport, and that's why we love it. But one thing is for sure, Conor wants to fight me at the White House. I want to fight him at the White House. And conversations are being had. I think things are moving in that direction, but we're never going to know when this thing's going to be announced. So we will see. All I know is I'm going to start training here very soon, like laser focused on June, whatever it is. And they're going to keep holding the cards close to their chest as they always do, trying to keep things a secret. And we'll see how.
Now, we want to hear your voice. Which potential pairing for Conor McGregor at the White House card resonates most with you? Is it Michael Chandler, Jorge Masvidal, Mauricio Ruffi, or perhaps a completely different contender? Share your perspectives in the comments section below and become part of the ongoing discussion. And if you haven't already, be sure to tap that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our comprehensive fight analyses, exclusive insider evaluations, and crucial updates as this landmark event continues to develop.